Right, today we're doing a power steering pump on this 18-ton DAF horsebox. This is a 2005 DAF CF 65. So customers complained that the power steering isn't working. I did pop out last week and sort of diagnose it. So there appears to be no fluid leaks, but the steering is very, very heavy. So one thing I did notice is when I'm manoeuvring it around, if you rev the engine pretty high, it does sort of get a bit of power assisted steering. So that to me says the power steering pump's got weak on its way out. So we're just about to tilt the cab. We'll bring you along. Well, as with any horse box that has a tilting cab, if you're lucky enough to have one, there's always a secondary locking device just to keep these cabs back. So this is just basically just a lever with a hook on the end of it that hooks onto there. Basically just latches in, keeps it all back. So I've just released the latch, started jacking it. This one's quite hard though because it's a big cab, and the I think the hydraulic pump must be getting a bit weak because that doesn't want to jack over very well either. So you've got to give it a bit of a helping hand with a lever bar. So lever it and jack it at the same time, and we should get it over. Right, a little bit of health and safety. Whenever you're jacking a cab, always make sure it goes over its tilting point. Because you don't want to be getting under a half tilted cab and the ram gives out, comes down and you're dead. So that's that out of the way anyway. Make sure you're safe with these things. Right, that's our power steering pump right there. So the first thing I'm going to do, check the fluid, make sure fluid level's all right. If fluid level's all right, then I'm going to say chances are it's the pump that's packed up. As you can see, fluid level's perfect. Right, there's a new pump. Looks the same as the old one. So let's get on with it. Right, we use a 36mm. Crack off this big nut. We've got a drainer down there, obviously because it comes straight from the reservoir, so we'll have a load of oil come out from there in a sec. Give that a little gentle love tap, and hopefully there we go. Lovely mess, look. Of course it goes straight on top of the axle. Why wouldn't it? I'll catch most of it anyway. So we'll let that drain out. As with anything, if you're trying to undo some of these pipes, which are pretty hard, always best to undo the pipes first before undoing the mounting bolts. Otherwise, if you undo the mounting bolts, you're then going to piss around struggling trying to undo it, and it's not very fun. Right, high pressure hose coming out of the pump. It's 27mm. So give that up. That's how tight that was. Got my own phone out of my hand. But it cracked off anyway, which is the aim of it. Right, back again. Well, so it cracked off after smashing my phone out my hand. this is the high pressure pipe which feeds the power steering box. That's pretty tight again, so give that another couple of little taps. Doesn't need much, just the seals get stuck in there. There we go. Just like that. Right, so we'll let all that come out. And we'll undo the two bolts, two mounting bolts, which is like there may be 15. Something like that. Right, tell you what else I'm going to do while the pump's still attached is we have to swap this fitting over here. So rather than pissing around with it unmounted and it's fucking swinging me all over the place, we'll undo it here. So this is a 24mm. Just put it on there. Give it a little. There we go. And that's that fitting undone. Again, I can't stress how much easier it is doing it while it's still fit to the truck, rather than trying to put it in vices and piss around like that. So we've got that one, and we'll do that top one as well, because that top one's got to be swapped over. Right, that fitting at the top is 32mm. Right, that's on there. It's not coming off even with my makeshift bodgery. Don't do this at home, by the way. Ends badly. That was on there bloody tight. In the end I had to use my 32mm socket on my Mac 1/2 inch bar. We got there though. Bloody thing. Right, there's two mounting bolts, one top and one bottom. See one there and the other one down there. So they're both 15mm, and I have heard apparently they can be 12.10mm head on, but this is 15mm. So I've got socket on extension, crack goes off. Right, just taking the top mounting out now. Bottom one's out. So they're only short, inch long. Now by the looks of it, it's held in with an O-ring. So it should, so it twists. Twist and a wiggle. There it is. Just like that. So obviously O-ring round there seals the back of the compressor. So obviously it's driven from the air compressor on this. So you got a little slot in there, and it goes to there. So it's literally driven off the back of the compressor. Get it cleaned up, new one on. Right, so before you put this in, I just put a little bit of oil just around that O-ring, just to help it slide in. See, I've cleaned up, if you can see. There's that face for now. Cleaned up that face. It should go straight in. Just line the keyway up with a little coupling on there. And that's it. Bolt it up. Right. Put a little bit of lube on there. Line that up roughly. Right, there we go, lovely. So it makes a nice positive noise when it clicks in. Obviously it doesn't matter too much because then you can just adjust that for the bolt holes to line up. Top one in, bottom one's a little bit fiddlier, so you can't really get to the bottom of it very well. There we go. That's that started. Right, pump's bolted in, bolt's tightened up. Just remove these. You just unscrew. There's one. Might be a bit of oil come back out of here. If they pre-filled it, nothing. Right. So unions can go on now. Tighten those up. Pipes can go on. Fluid in, and you can test it. Right, that's the unions on, tightened up. Now for the pipes. Right, that is the pump. All fitted, everything's tightened up. Now it's just a case of fill up the reservoir, run it up, check for leaks. Happy days. Right, that's it. All bled up, all topped up to the correct level. Power steering is lovely and light. So we can call that fixed. Set the cab back down. Call that job done, I think. Right, here we go. Your power steering pump. Look at that. Lovely. Now all we have to do is resecure that cab back, park it back up out of the mud. Love doing work on farms and yards. Yeah, that's it. So get the cab resecured, pack away our tools, job's a fish. Alright, here we are in there living. Just quickly show you. Take my shoes off. Obviously at the minute you can see a massive gap up there. Don't know if you can see, a bit dark in here actually. But you can't see piss all, can you? Right, so that's the power steering pump done. All nice and fixed now. So altogether it took me from when I started, what time did I start? About 1 o'clock. And I finished about 2:30, time I got packed away. So start to finish, hour and a half. That included pissing around, trying to get the cab over as well. That's probably the most difficult bit really. So it's a nice easy job. Nice and easy to do. So yeah, anyway, if you find this video helpful or useful, or if you get something out of it, then happy days. If you want to see more of this sort of stuff, like and subscribe, and I shall see you soon. See you laters.